There was a shooting at a Texas synagogue by a British national over the weekend. I know, right? It feels like a Mad Lib? Feels like a Mad Lib headline, okay? There's a Brit who shot up a Texas synagogue. Okay, but by Brit, I mean Brit in the widest sense of the term, okay? He's described by some media outlets as a British national, but the motherfucker's name is, okay, let me get this one. Let me click on it. No, I'll tell you, a 44-year-old British national that goes by the name Malik Faisal Akram. Salam Allah, my friend. The FBI said late Sunday that there is an investigation, taking of hostages at a Texas synagogue a day prior as a terrorism-related matter. No! A guy named Malik Faisal Akram taking hostages at a synagogue might be terrorism-related. You don't say. Thanks, FBI. Another great use of your resources. This is a terrorism-related manner in which the Jewish community was targeted and is being investigated by the Joint Terrorism Task Force. And again, this is being done by the FBI, so don't anticipate anything coming out shortly by them. What's the ETA exactly on that Las Vegas shooter case? Just asking for a friend, a dead friend. Anyways, yeah, the previously described Mr. Akram interrupted service inside Congregation Beth Israel Synagogue in Coyville, interrupting service and taking 4 hostages, authorities have said. On a live stream, he was heard demanding the release of Pakistani-born Ayafi Siddiqui, a neuroscientist who is serving an 86-year prison sentence after being convicted for attempting to murder and assault Americans in Afghanistan. Guy isn't that bright, right? To be fair, I don't know what the education system is like for a British national. But if you're trying to accomplish that, why would you go to a Texas synagogue of all places? I don't get it. Oh my god, but whatever. I guess he probably had a checklist of things to do today. Okay, release my Afghani brothers and hate the Jews. Where can I go to accomplish both things at the same time? Oh, looks like today's the Sabbath. Let's go down to this local synagogue. Or I don't know what an Arab British accent sounds like, and I'm not even going to attempt it. Speaking to reporters on Saturday evening, FBI Dallas Special Agent in Charge Matt DeSarno said that the suspect was singularly focused on one issue, and it was not specifically related to the Jewish community. Then why do you go to a synagogue and take hostages there? That's why this story's already out of the news, because it was something detrimental to the Jews. Like, you go to CNN's top page, you go to their homepage, and it's nowhere on there. To be fair, they're probably, I don't know, just running ads for cribs in the top 5 toys to keep toddlers occupied. Other than what you heard on the live stream, I'm not ready to add any more about the demands. We're specifically focused on one issue, and that was not specifically threatening to the Jewish community. Wait a minute. They were specifically focused on one issue that was not specifically threatening to the Jewish community. Oh, okay. I just thought I had a hernia there, okay? Like, don't pay attention to what's on the live stream. We're trying to see if there's anything else, okay? It's just the evidence that's there on that live stream, just disregard that, okay? Of course, it's the fucking FBI, but whatever. This was all the FBI said until some 24 hours later when it said the crime did target the Jewish community. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, what could have possibly led you to that conclusion? And confirmed the suspect, during negotiations with law enforcement, spoke repeatedly about the convicted terrorist who was serving an 86-year prison sentence in the United States on terrorism charges. All of us at the FBI are relieved the hostage situation in Coyville, Texas, was resolved without physical injury to those taken hostage. Well, to be fair, the hostage taker, our good friend, the British national, okay, and we got pictures of him right there, the 100% Brit bong. He got hit with a chair by a rabbi. Oh my god, he got assaulted. Here, a rabbi held hostage in the Texas synagogue has credited active shooter training for helping to save his congregants, revealing Monday that he threw a chair at the terrorists so that they could finally escape. Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker, said the training he got from police and the FBI kicked in towards the end of a terrifying 10-hour stand. Oh my god, that fucking room must have stunk so bad after 10 hours. Saturday at his congregation Beth Israel in Coyville. In the last hour of our hostage crisis, the gunman became increasingly belligerent and threatening. Did you offer him anything to eat? Would you like some matzo balls? Do you have a little soap? Is your head getting cold? We have little hats to make sure that nothing escapes, Rabbi said in a statement of a British terrorist, Malik Faisal Akram, who wasn't getting what he wanted. Yeah, exactly. Imagine that. Just the stark raving insanity of a man thinking that he can get some Afghani terrorist out of a fucking prison of, I don't know, unknown origin by taking a couple of Jews hostage in a closet. I don't fucking get it, but whatever. It didn't look good. It didn't sound good. We were terrified. He was just talking about Malik's dress. He said he remembered the security training warning that when your life is threatened, you need to do whatever you can to get to safety. Oh, thanks. Very astute and very specific training. That came when Akram wasn't in a good position, and Citron Walker and the two congregants with him were close to the exit. He told CBS, saying that he made sure they were ready to go. I told them to go, he said. I threw a chair at the gunman and headed for the door. All three of us were able to get out without even a shot being fired, he told CBS of the terrifying ordeal. That's fucking awesome. Another man held hostage, Jeffrey R. Cohen. Really? Wrote on Facebook Monday that at one point during the siege, the gunman ordered the trio to their knees. Oh my God, and hold up a newspaper of today's date and then denounce. Anyways, instead, Cohen said he reared up in his chair, slowly moving his head and mouthing no, with the group feeling as Akram moved to return to his own chair. We escaped. We weren't released or freed. That's awesome. But yeah, this wasn't exactly a spontaneous event, okay, because two arrested in the United Kingdom in connection with Texas Synagogue hostage taker. This was a orchestrated event, which I find weird, okay, because again, why this synagogue? It doesn't make sense, right? Two teenagers. Oh, okay. This dude's brides have been arrested in the United Kingdom in connection with the British national. Stop it. Call them channel crossers, who took 4 hostages at a Texas synagogue on Saturday, police have said. As part of the ongoing investigation into the attack that took place at the synagogue in Texas on 15th of January 2022, officers from the counterterrorism counter-terror, sorry, I was thinking it was going to be counter-terrorism unit, Officer Jack Bauer. Policing Northwest have made 2 arrests in relation to the incident. A counter-terrorism police unit of the Greater Manchester Police said on Sunday. 2 teenagers were detained in South Manchester this evening. The police added in a statement posted on Twitter, they remain in custody for questioning. I wonder who? The FBI identified British national Malik Faisal Akram, 44, from the industrial town of Blackburn. Yeah, I'm sure he was born and raised there in the north of England, as the hostage taker on Sunday. Akram, who was killed, round of applause, by an FBI SWAT team at a Congressional Beth Institute synagogue in Colleyville near Fort Worth, had been heard demanding the release of female Pakistani-born neuroscientists and head remover. Oh, okay, that must be how she studies for her neuroscience practice, okay? She just has to take the sample with her, so obviously you don't need those pesky shoulders and torso. All hostages, one of whom was the rabbi of the synagogue, survived the ordeal and was uninjured. The rabbi had been performing Sabbath services at the time of the siege, no doubt. Siddiqui was convicted of trying to kill U.S. Army officer in Afghanistan and is serving an 86-year sentence in Carswell Air Force Base, about 15 miles away from the synagogue. Oh, okay. See, that makes sense. After being sentenced in 2010, why did it take him so long then? Christ. God. And to be fair, she only has, 74 years left on her sentence? Like, she could still be fine at the end of it. By a New York federal court. Wait, what? Okay, now, okay. That's starting to make a little bit more sense. You got a New York federal court, and he's like, I know who's to blame with this one. The Jews. Akram's brother, Gulbar... Really? Posted on the Blackburn Muslims community's Facebook page that Akram suffered from mental illness. Really? You don't say. What was that spurred on by? Which passage in the Quran? And said that the family had spent all night at the local police station liaisoning with Faisal, the negotiators, and the FBI. They managed to convince Akram to release one of the hostages unarmed after 6 hours of negotiations. 3 more remained until they got beamed with a fucking chair. Gulbar wrote, there was nothing we could have done to him or done that would have convinced him to surrender. Well, to be fair, he was asking for one thing, and that might have got him to surrender, just saying. We'd like to say that we, as a family, do not condone any of his actions. I would just like to praise the great Allah 3 times a day. Would like to sincerely apologize wholeheartedly to the victims involved in the unfortunate incident. Yeah, that's fair, okay? Like, no harm unto their family, obviously, in Salam Allah. It's just fun to make fun of them. I'm an asshole, so fuck off. He added that the family suffered the death of a younger sibling. Oh, that's what spurred this on after 12 years of incarceration. And that was, the one incarcerated was just his younger sibling's favorite neurosurgeon, and just in his dying breath said, please, we need to get her out of that prison. I know in another country she is being treated oh so very badly. We could bring her back to Afghanistan, brother, and treat her even worse. Barely 3 months ago, said the family's priority now is to have Akram's body returned to the United Kingdom. Nah. Unless they're just gonna, I don't know, like float it on a raft. I don't know, hopefully it doesn't take on any water because it has some additional holes in it. For his funeral prayers, although we have been warned it could take weeks, and oh boy, the smell on that. It is not clear whether Akram took his own life or was slain by members, mercifully relieved of life. By members of the FBI hostage rescue team. Not soon enough, because he wasted those Jews 10 hours of time, and oy vey, the complaining that would have come afterwards would have been insufferable. I mean, if you guys would have came in earlier, I wouldn't have had to throw a chair, and oh, I got a rip in my shirt because it's a little bit too tight, because, you know, the quarantine, we put on so much extra weight, and oy. Anyways, all's well that ends well. We got a dead terrorist and still incarcerated terrorist. Hey, at the end of the day, I can see that as a win. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.